War Raiders defend the NXT Tag Team titles against the Street Profits, Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong in the main event. WWE hyping the debut of Kushida, and believe me, we're anything but bougie right here for NXT on Off the Script.
Delete! This is mine.
Alive with it. People still did. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me here today. It is April 25th, 2019. This is NXT right here on Off the Script. Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong. We got women's tag team action with two of my personal favorites in the women's division. Kacy, Catanzaro, and one Candice, LaRae. They went up against two irrelevants whose theme music is actually better than what they could do in the ring. They shall remain nameless. That's all I will say about that. War Raiders versus the Street Profits, and WWE hyping up Kushida for next week against one Cassius Ohno. So it should be good, man. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to go over everything. If you missed anything that I previously uploaded, man, I have a ton of stuff. Ton of content on the channel. Raw, SmackDown. Obviously, you got NXT tonight. Off the Script Extra. That is going over the CM Punk situation and him making his indie return under a mask. Why? Why did it happen? Why did he do it? I got all the details for you on Off the Script Extra live on the channel right now. Plus, if you missed Off the Script last weekend, we got Sasha Banks and Road Dogg as the top stories. Bray Wyatt on Monday welcomed us to his neighborhood. It was great. CM Punk again making his return to the indie wrestling scene. All that is for you guys live on the channel right now. Make sure you go check it out. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner, that little eye. Drop it down. Everything you need will be right there. Follow me on social media, man. JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. It's the same different app. But make sure you guys are following me. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Of course, it's optional. It's there if you guys want to support. And it's the only way to get exclusive content not available on YouTube, man. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. JD's Elites. Available on bonfire.com. The biggest selling t-shirt for this podcast alone. And one of the top selling t-shirts in all of the YWC. That is the YouTube wrestling community. Become one of my elite members, man. Bonfire.com, the exclusive home of the Off the Script online store. Go and get yours today. Link will be down in the description of this very video today. Go and get yours and become one of my elite right here on Off the Script. This podcast tonight, or today rather, is brought to you by Audible. Audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Go and sign up. Sign up using our unique link and get 30 days free of Audible service plus one free audiobook of your choice. You got over 200,000 choices to choose from. A lot of those are sports and wrestling related. Again, audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Go through the sign up process. Download the app, whether you're on iPhone or Android devices. And the best part is, when you get your audiobook and you listen, and you're enjoying Audible service, if you feel at any time it is not for you, you can cancel at any time in that 30 days and keep your audiobook for free. Yes, FREE, no penalty, you will not be charged. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Go and get something for free and support the show for basically doing nothing but listening to me right here on Off the Script. Before we get into the NXT review, guys, I want to go over one story in particular before we get into the results that I talked about last week. And when I did an off-the-script extra on Luke Harper and him going public with his release or wanting to be released from the WWE, we also looked at the situation with Alexander Wolfe of Sanity. He asked for his release the same day that Luke Harper asked for his release from the WWE. And I mean this in no disrespect whatsoever towards Alexander Wolfe. I figured, and I was thinking in line of what WWE is probably thinking, that if they let this guy go and go to a Ring of Honor or a New Japan or an Impact or an AEW, that it would not be a big deal. Because they really didn't do anything with him to begin with. And it's said that WWE, and I if I sat down with a creative team member or Road Dogg or anybody that is in that position, one of the first things that I would ask is, now I know this is Vince McMahon, but why do you bring up someone like Alexander Wolfe? Why do you bring up a group like Sanity? You got 4 individuals there. Eric Young, Killian Dane, Alexander Wolfe, and Nikki Cross, which they're not using right now anyway. She's not even drafted to a brand. Why do you call those individuals up when they're doing so well in NXT, only to have the gimmick killed on the main roster by physically doing nothing with them? That's what I would ask. Why do you bring up an EC3 and bring him to the main roster if you physically have no plans for him on the main roster? So I'm looking at Alexander Wolfe, and when we talked about his situation, I thought that letting him go would probably be the best deal for him, because if he stays in the WWE, especially on the main roster, he would absolutely do nothing. Nothing. WWE would have nothing for him. I figured they would send him back down to NXT, but how often does that happen? Now, if they let him go, I figured he would go to Impact or get scooped up by Impact. They got Madman Fulton over there. He's in OVE with my boy Sami Callihan, right? And I figured that that would be a good role for him. And that Impact and what they're doing right now would give him a very, very good creative direction. But WWE didn't do that. They didn't let him go. They actually sent him, believe it or not, to NXT. They didn't send him to NXT Local, but they sent him to NXT UK. And there were reports that WWE could potentially send him over there. Now, again, Alexander Wolfe was a member of Sanity in NXT. They were brought to SmackDown Live. They didn't do anything. And then the Superstar shakeup happened, and Vince McMahon split them up. Eric Young went to Monday Night Raw. Killian Dane and Alexander Wolfe were left with nobody on SmackDown Live. Wolfe actually did bid WWE farewell, but he was quick to specify in an online message following his NXT UK debut that he found his way back to a former stable. This is what he said, and I quote, "I never said I'll leave this company. I said goodbye to WWE." And he put in quotations Raw and SmackDown Live. Because I am now a part of NXT UK. I may have lost my #sanity, but I found my back, and now he's in Imperium. He says, I found my way back into Imperium. The mat is sacred. #NXT UK Glasgow. #NXT UK. And that is it. He's in NXT UK. I think this is a great move. He's going to be around people that are moving on up. He gets to start over. And mixing him up with a Walter and a Fabian Eichner and a Marcel Bartel, I think that's a great move. I honestly think that's a great move. I love it. I wish him nothing more than all the success in the world. But WWE, I'm going to continue to say it every single time this situation happens. They drop the ball with these guys that they bring up from NXT because they have so much talent, they don't know what to do with it. And then when they call people up, I feel like internally, in my soul, I feel like they do it for the sake of just doing it. They're doing it on purpose. There's no reason why Sanity couldn't succeed on the main roster. There's no reason. There's no reason why a group like that, with Eric Young, Killian Dane, Alexander Wolfe, and Nikki Cross, could not succeed on the main roster in a mid-card, upper mid-card, main event level act as a stable. There's no reason. It's just WWE got lazy. They were very indifferent to what NXT is doing. They're always indifferent to what NXT is doing. And this was a Triple H gimmick through and through. And it makes you wonder, who is going to suffer this same fate next? Can you imagine the fucking Forgotten Sons being brought up to the main roster? I fear for the fucking Forgotten Sons. I really do. You know, people always chime in on social media. The Revival comes out, the only reaction they get is crickets. Then you get everybody in Sanity. Didn't get a chance. And imagine the Forgotten Sons getting brought up to the main roster when their time is up. I hope they stay down in NXT forever, because I don't want to see anything like what happened to Sanity happen to somebody else. It is absolutely demoralizing. As a fan, it's fucking demoralizing, man. I feel for everybody there. What are you going to do with Killian Dane? That's the next thing that should be on the priority list. What are you going to do with someone like Killian Dane? Are you going to keep him on SmackDown Live? Are you going to make him and mold him into a monster? Are you going to give him a priority like you gave, Bray Wyatt? You're going to come up with a new gimmick for Killian Dane? Because the guy, just looking at him, there's no fucking way that you can't utilize someone that athletic and that big, that moves like that, on the main roster. You either use him and make him a fucking monster heel on SmackDown Live, or you send him right back down to NXT, or you put him on NXT UK, where I'm sure he'll thrive. I know a lot of people came to me this week saying, man, you mentioned Killian Dane. I'd love to see Dane versus Walter on NXT UK. Sign me up. Sign me up. Or Walter versus Dave Mastiff. There's got to be a way to use these guys to their full potential. Hit the reset button with these guys. And this is why I mentioned bringing people from the main roster and putting them down in NXT again for a second stint. It's okay. It is okay. It's like taking a struggling ball player on the major league level and putting him back down in AAA. Just having him go out there and kind of, work on shit. Get familiar with what you might be missing. In this case, nobody's missing anything, but WWE Creative is missing a few brain cells. So put them back down there. Maybe a different creative team can come up with something different for these guys, and maybe the main roster will look at them a little bit differently. It's got to happen. Same thing could go for an Ascension or a Tyler Breeze. Guys like the EC3. Most importantly, EC3. I wish WWE would listen to me, but who the fuck am I? So Alexander Wolfe, I wish him nothing more than all the success in the world. Hopefully he kills it with his new boys over there in NXT UK. That is the only news I got. There was no news as far as NXT goes. It was actually a slow week. And we got a damn good show tonight, man. Damn good show. Highlighted by Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong. And a damn good tag team title match with the fucking War Raiders against the Street Profits. Man, Montez Ford is fucking money. Absolute money. Started off the show tonight with Jackson Ryker. Speaking of the Forgotten Sons, with Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. My personal MVPs of the Dusty Classic this year in 2019. Jackson Ryker, my least favorite of the Forgotten Sons. I wish he was completely forgotten. He didn't look pretty, he looked pretty damn good tonight. I will admit that. He didn't look bad at all. He went one-on-one with Humberto Carrillo. By the way, gotta mention it. Kayla Braxton is no more in NXT. They replaced her with another female who is actually a lot better. I did not get a name. I don't think we got a name. But she is new, clearly, and she's got a better set of pipes than Kayla Braxton. She's got more bass to her voice. She's got a better vocal range than Kayla Braxton. Kayla Braxton's got her beat on looks. I'll give her that. But Kayla Braxton's on the main roster right now. She thrives in an interviewing role. I think that's her niche right there. But whoever they got to replace Kayla Braxton, much better than what Kayla Braxton was doing on NXT. So Jackson Ryker and Humberto Carrillo went to a double countout. This one was pretty quick. Post-match, Ryker continued to beat up Carrillo, and they actually went over the barricade and into the Full Sail crowd. Now, when they were in the crowd, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch got involved for the save. There was some chairs being used, and the Forgotten Sons were kept back by Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch wielding chairs. Now, Humberto Carrillo and Oney Lorcan are actually two of the rising stars on 205 Live, and I love what WWE is doing with both on 205 Live. I could easily see both guys breaking out as Cruiserweight Champion on 205 Live, but still, they got some unfinished business here on NXT. I would like to see them continue doing double duty because there's something about the team of Lorcan and Burch that I love that Cinderella feel with those teams. And the crowd, is very much behind both of those guys. So they're here wielding steel chairs. They keep the Forgotten Sons away. And Cutler and Blake hold Ryker back. He wanted to actually advance and go to Lorcan and Burch 2-on-1, even though they had steel chairs. So that was pretty much that. So it looks like we're getting a Forgotten Sons versus the team of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch in the short future here on NXT, which should be good. Should be fun. I like both teams, especially if it's Cutler and Blake versus Lorcan and Burch. Should be a damn good match. Adam Cole, baby. He's backstage taking some, he's actually being interviewed, and he was taking a few photos, and he was interviewed by NXT media, I'm going to say. Faceless fucking clowns. We don't know who they are. They asked him what he thinks about Gargano versus Strong. He expected Gargano, he says, to pick the leader of the group. He expected Gargano to actually go one-on-one with him tonight. But William Regal stepped in and said, whoa. I'm doing what I want here, man. I'm the GM here on NXT. Since you got your boy, Roderick Strong, to get involved and sneak attack Gargano last week, I'm booking Gargano versus Strong. Adam Cole, he can't really be upset at Roderick Strong because this is William Regal's doing. For all we know, William Regal could be doing something to kind of break up internally the Undisputed Era because he knows that they're a cancer to NXT. So he's going to be intentionally doing everything he can to make Adam Cole salty so that he turns that anger onto his Undisputed Era stablemates. That's the way I see it. So he expected Gargano to pick him, which we know is not going to happen because the only way you could follow that NXT TakeOver New York match is with something at a TakeOver. So you're not going to do that. So clearly Gargano's going to go through everybody in the Undisputed Era. But Strong, he says, will do exactly what he would do to Gargano. Cole then notices, Matt Riddle, come on up. And Matt Riddle smiling. I wonder why. It was 420, and Matt Riddle, recently, Matt Riddle tweeted out a picture on 420 with him and RVD. Gotta laugh at it, you gotta laugh at it. Who knows if he's still indulging in that extracurricular activity, but the fact that he posted a picture with himself and RVD to get people riled up on 420 on social media, man, is classic. It's a classic bro maneuver. So Matt Riddle comes on in, he's smiling. Riddle actually said he's next in line for photos, bro, but he couldn't help notice how annoyed Cole was, bro. The two are going back and forth with one another. And Adam Cole says, listen, I got bigger things to take care of. Go and do your little stupid photo shoot. And he walks on off. So we could be looking at an Adam Cole, Matt Riddle program in the interim while Johnny Gargano is running through Undisputed Era. Sounds good to me, bro. We got Candice LaRae, one of my favorites, versus Kacy Catanzaro. Another one of my favorites versus two irrelevants that I will not name. How many of you saw all these people on social media, man? I gotta say this. It's amazing how people on social media get so salty over the things that I say. When I mention the Moronics on SmackDown Live, your unfortunate WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, people get salty. They always come back and say, oh, well, they can wrestle, but WWE is having them not wrestle because they're playing a certain role. And they say the same thing about Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. Bourne and bougie. We are not bougie here on Off the Script, anything but. And if you do say anything of that nature about yourself, about being bougie, I really don't want you listening to anything that's coming out of my mouth because you're a fucking loser. Now, with this match, this was very academic. I'm not going to get into the specifics of this match. All I will say is that at least NXT is trying to establish teams that they could showcase when Asuka and Kairi Sane eventually make their way back down to NXT. Should be Sasha and Bayley. When Asuka and Kairi Sane eventually make their way back down to NXT, do you really want the Moronics as your tag team champions? Can you imagine? I don't want to give you guys fucking ear cancer, but can you imagine? Can you imagine Billie Kay and Peyton Royce defending the never mind NXT, the Women's Tag Team Championships of WWE at NXT TakeOver? Oh my God, man. TakeOver will never be the same. You know for a fact that Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are losing those tag team titles to Kairi Sane and Asuka whenever that opportunity is. Asuka and Kairi Sane, I would love to see them, because there's really no other teams on the main roster. They split up Sasha and Bayley for whatever fucking reason. I hope she never comes back, Sasha Banks. Poor Sasha Banks, man. Gotta feel for her. I hope that Asuka and Kairi Sane, especially Asuka, comes back to NXT. I'd like to see Candice LaRae and Kacy Catanzaro built up as a team that is there in their tag team realm and challenge for the tag team titles. Now, it's no Sky Pirates. It's no Sky Pirates versus Boston Hug Connection, but this is WWE, man. Whatever we want, they take. Whatever we want, they kill. I'm sorry. But I like the team of Kacy Catanzaro and Candice LaRae, man. I think that is a beautiful pairing. I mean, they're both bubbly. They're both lovable. They're both athletic. I mean, it makes sense. It really does make sense. And both of them are really not doing anything. Candice LaRae should be in the NXT Women's Championship hunt. I don't know why. She's probably the best in that entire division. Makes you wonder why she's been held on the sidelines for so fucking long. It's like WWE. I know it's all about timing, but man, she's too good to keep on the sidelines. And I wonder what took them so fucking long to finally put her on TV. This is the most I've seen of Candice LaRae in all the time she's been with NXT. Kacy Catanzaro, instead of putting her in these singles matches, one-on-one individual matches, having her stand next to Candice LaRae, who she can feed off of, is only going to make her star brighter. And it's a great way to introduce her to the NXT universe and the overall WWE universe at the end of the day. I think this is great. Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, they're trying. At least WWE is pairing two women who can't wrestle. At least WWE is pairing two women who have nothing more than looks going for them. The best thing about this tag team is Vanessa Bourne's theme music. Simple as that. And I'm being God honest with you. This match was very quick and very academic. Kacy and Candice win here. Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, I should say, were working on Kacy Catanzaro. She's the ultimate babyface. She made the hot tag to Candice. Candice actually hits a missile drop kick. She gets the hot tag, by the way. double neck breaker by Kacy, gets the hot tag, missile drop kick, baseball slide drop kick on Aaliyah to the floor, jawbreaker on Bourne, running back elbow, snackmare, what am I talking about? Nia Jax, snapmare, step up senton, neckbreaker, moonsault off the second rope, her version of the lion salt, and that is it. That is it. Kacy and Candice LaRae win against the bougie team of Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. Go back to the PC. Come back when you're ready to talk to me. Kathy Kelly interviewed Io Shirai about what happened with Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. She said Shayna Baszler did, what she did to Kairi Sane was absolutely terrible. And before she could even utter anything out of her mouth, you have Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, and Shayna Baszler attack Io Shirai from behind. And Shayna Baszler delivered a devastating knee to Io Shirai right there in the interview room down at Full Sail. That was it. Io was laying left on the ground, and she was breathing heavy. That big knee shot. Looks like we know where we're going as far as the NXT Women's Championship goes, folks. I am going with Io and Shayna all the way till Brooklyn, and we get Io winning the title there and becoming your new flag bearer for the NXT Women's Division. William Regal was asked about Kushida debuting next week, something that I am very interested in seeing. Regal says it was one of the biggest things to happen in NXT. Same thing with Nakamura, same thing with Asuka, same thing with Hideo Itami. We all ended up in the same fucking boat. 0 for 3 you are, Regal. In NXT, they thrived. On the main roster in front of the old man, dead. How long before Kushida is killed? Right there in front of the old man. Only time will tell. Cassius Ohno then comes on in. Regal compliments Ohno because he's working in NXT UK. Ohno then says in regards to Kushida, who better to welcome him than Ohno? So Regal decides that this is what will happen next week. It will be Cassius Ohno versus Kushida in his debut match. I'm looking forward to it. Street Profits versus Hanson and Rowe, the War Raiders, which they were called the War Raiders on their show, folks. Every time I hear Morrow and Percy and Nigel call them the War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, I die on the inside. By the way, I don't know if this is legit. We didn't get any news or anything on it. Apparently, WWE changed their name again. So they went from the War Raiders to the Viking Experience to the Viking Raiders, and now they are the Viking Warriors. What a bunch of fucking idiots in WWE, man. Really? I mean, it's like a running meme. It's like a running meme. And I ask, this is another question I'd ask WWE Creative. Why did you change the name of War Raiders when the original name? Now, I understand War Machine couldn't be used, but the original name of War Raiders was perfectly fine. The Viking Warriors. Unbelievable. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know if it's true or not. We didn't get an official statement. We'll find out on Raw, because that's when they do all their just important information anyway. We won't know. They'll probably spring it upon us and fucking troll the shit out of their fans, because they don't give a shit. The War Raiders versus the Street Profits. This was actually a non-title match. I thought this was the tag team title match. But I guess I misheard last week. So, the opening to this match was fantastic. This was an NXT takeover-like opening. War Raiders made their entrance, and we haven't seen an entrance like this on the main roster yet. You figured that they were debuting on Monday Night Raw, that they would have had some sort of NXT takeover-like entrance with the smoke and the fucking horns and the big grand entrance, but it's WWE Raw. That's where people go to die. But the War Raiders came out, they did their whole spiel, they did their entrance, they dropped the titles in the middle of the aisleway, took off their helmets, And I loved the camera work here. There was a close-up of Hanson and Rowe. Ivar and Eric, you're asking. I don't know who they are. Ivar and Eric. Who are you talking about? Hanson and Rowe. Yeah, the War Raiders. Ivar and Eric. The fuck are you talking about? I don't know who the fuck they are. Hanson and Rowe were looking right into the camera. Camera was panned up on them in the aisleway. All of a sudden, Montez Ford, it's as if he jumped over the fucking cameraman, does a fucking tope over the top rope, a senton over the top rope, takes out both guys, and before the bell even rang, I think the bell rung while this was happening, Ford leaps over the top rope, takes out both guys. They ended up getting a bunch of big moves in, and Rowe is laying flat on his back. Montez Ford goes up top, hits a picture-perfect frog splash for what I thought was a 3 count, and I'm like, oh my goodness, holy shit, barely kicked out. This was a damn good tag team match, man. This was frenetic. It was high octane. It didn't slow down. There was no rest holds here. This was the Street Profits going out there saying, we asked for this match. We got this match. We're going to tear the fucking house down. We're going to show William Regal that we want those tag team titles. It was not enough. The War Raiders win via pinfall. Exploder suplex on Ford. Big knee. I love Rowe's knees, man. Holy shit. I love it even more that he gets in your face and screams at you that he did hit the knee, and you're pretty much done after that. So Hanson was brought back in. Shotgun dropkick on Ford. Hanson is then dumped into Ford. That move that they do where Rowe picks up Hanson and he just throws Hanson onto their opponent. Who the fuck wants to take that? I don't know. So we get Hanson with a springboard clothesline on Dawkins. He rolled out to the floor, and then they hit what is known as, or what Morrow call, Thor's Hammer. Now, I want to ask every single one of you watching me, look at what they have in NXT. The War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, right? They got the Fallout as their finishing move. Their setup move, their other alternative finishing move, is called fucking Thor's Hammer. Now, I don't know what you're thinking while you're listening to me, but I'm sure that you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Man, what an epic fucking name for a tag team maneuver. That is Thor's Hammer. Who the fuck doesn't like that, man? You look at that and I'm like, man, that's a fucking cool fucking move. Thor's Hammer. WWE changed it, and it's now known as the Viking Experience. I'll see you guys later, man. Good night. That's all I got for you. God, man. You don't believe me. This is where people go to die. Monday Night Raw. Can you believe that? Unreal. That's like a fucking Dragon Force song on their new album. You know? Thor's Hammer. The Viking Experience. Every time I watch Monday Night Raw, the experience is fucking terrible. Just like the name of that fucking move. War Raiders win. Mia Yim is interviewed about Shayna Baszler dominating everyone in the women's division. She comes across the women's division. She goes over everybody that Shayna Baszler has decimated. Yim runs down how the others have had their opportunities. How Bianca says she's undefeated, but she's really not. All she sees is someone who is defeated. And now it's her time to get another crack at Shayna Baszler and finally put an end to her reign. Mia, I got something to tell you. It's not going to happen. I don't think Shayna is ever losing that title. In fact, I would not have anybody but EO beat Shayna Baszler for the title. And if Shayna does retain the title against EO, Shayna's dropping the title. You have a fucking tournament for the title. Because that woman, every time I said she should have lost the title 3 fucking times already. Every time I mention that Shayna is going to lose the title, she never loses the title. Which I should be looking at as a positive, because if she does lose the title, then that means she's being brought up to the main roster, and we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So the more I say she is going to lose the title, I'll mention it a 4th time, and I hope I'm right this time. But knowing that this is WWE's formula. I know that they're probably going to have her drop the title and bring her up to the main roster, and fuck me. Anyway. Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler is not really all that exciting to me. Get in line, honey. Get in line. EO has got the next shot. Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong non-title match. I mean, did we expect anything less from these two guys? Two of the very best that this company has. This was fucking great. Anything that Johnny is in is fucking classic. Roderick Strong is fantastic at what he does. Got some back and forths here. Gargano eats a few kicks. Strong hits a back elbow. Gargano hits his discus clothesline, which is academic with Gargano, one of his main moves. Strong then launches Gargano into the bottom turnbuckle, lifting knee strike, which, another one, you think Rowe's knees are bad. Roderick Strong's knees are fucking devastating. Backbreaker, face plants Gargano, 2 count. Strong looks for a Boston Crab, gets kicked in the face, and Gargano looks for the Gargano escape. Cole then runs out, because of course he does. Cole runs out to the ring for a distraction. Strong tries for the upper hand. He gets dropped while all this is going on. Cole starts screaming at Gargano, Gargano, you're not a champion. You're not a champion. He starts saying. And the rest of Undisputed Era comes on out. We got Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish out there. Adam Cole's out there. Roddy's obviously in the ring with Gargano. All of a sudden, Matt Riddle, remember when Adam Cole made mention of Matt Riddle being stupid and his photo shoot being stupid and Matt Riddle interrupting Adam Cole? Well, Matt Riddle obviously took offense to this. He came out for the save. He clears out O'Reilly and Fish. Cole ends up taking out Riddle, and Riddle caused enough of a distraction to take out Roderick Strong by accident. Now, Roddy was leaning over the ropes towards the outside. He thought it was Gargano. He did a step-up enziguri that leveled Strong. Again, he mistakenly thought it was Gargano, and clearly this led to Gargano getting the win. Gargano hits the slingshot DDT for the win, and that was it. Post-match, Cole tells Strong he meant to get Gargano, and he was trying to help. Strong seemed annoyed at all of this. And Gargano and Riddle celebrate on the stage. Roderick Strong and Adam Cole still arguing, but the other members of Undisputed Era were clearly heard saying, let it go, it is okay. So they are teasing. I don't know where they're going with this. I really don't. The Undisputed Era breaking up would be stupid, so I don't think it's really leading to a breakup, but it certainly has presented the Undisputed Era for the first time in a while as looking weak. Now, they've never collectively as a whole looked weak. There was always, Adam Cole doing his own thing, and then Roddy and O'Reilly were doing their tag team thing. Unbelievable fucking matches. Bobby Fish was hurt. Where Adam Cole was not really moving on up and getting those W's, you always had Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, making up for everything for Undisputed Era. Now, it's really the first time in forever since the group has honestly been together that they are collectively on a downward spiral, and they're looking weak, which I don't really anticipate happening all that often from here on out. They might tease a breakup, they might get frustrated with one another, but this is all eventually going to lead towards another Gargano versus Adam Cole match. Matt Riddle is obviously involved. He made Dream look good at TakeOver New York. We said it then, and I still stick to that today. Matt Riddle is well beyond the North American Championship. Having him sacrifice, quote-unquote, I wouldn't really call it that because that's really a strong word. Having him do the deed for the Velveteen Dream really didn't do anything for Matt Riddle as far as the loss goes. He's still fucking Matt Riddle. Nobody looks at him any differently at all. Obviously, Dream benefited more than anybody with that win over Matt Riddle, and rightfully so. He needs to establish that title going forward. So Matt Riddle might be involved now with the NXT Championship. Obviously, he's getting involved with Adam Cole. I don't know where they're going. It's interesting to see where they're going with this, and I trust NXT to kind of tighten up those loose ends and give us a damn good story. And honestly, with all that is happening right now, this is just the very beginning. there's no takeover until the middle of June. So we got all of April, we got all of May. This is just the very beginnings of the set of tapings that they filmed at Full Sail. We probably won't get into the heart of everything that they're trying to tell until next month, which I'm okay with. But NXT always delivers. I'm intrigued. I'm sure whatever they got planned is going to be very good. These takeover shows are above and beyond anything that WWE has produced since we've been doing takeovers. So I am 100% on board with whatever they're doing. Johnny as champion is going to almost 10 times out of 10 deliver a quality main event. So I'm not worried about whatever they're doing. And I have more faith in these guys telling the story that we need than anybody else in the company. So it's going to be great. I'm very interested to see where they go with Riddle, Gargano, Undisputed Era. Should be fun. Should be fun. So let's enjoy the ride and see where they go with all these guys going into TakeOver for San Jose, I believe. It's San Jose at the middle of June. The next TakeOver is standalone show. No WWE show to hinder them. It's going to be their own show. They always pull out all the stops, and they very well might even go above and beyond that when they know they don't have to compete with a WWE show. So we'll see what happens there. Thank you guys so very much for all your support here on Off the Script. If you did enjoy the video, man, please hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below. I am sorry I didn't get the video up last night, but I didn't want to upload it too late because it is an NXT review, and it's something that really doesn't do great. It's alright during the week. It doesn't do great as far as viewership goes, so I figured it would probably be better for everybody to get it early in the morning than very, very late at night. It'll be fresh in your sub boxes on Thursday morning, man. So thank you guys so very much for all your support, and hit that thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Follow me on social media, man. Please go and follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Again, that's JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Audibletrial.com/offthescript for your free 30 days of Audible and a free audiobook. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos you might have missed this week. Off the Script 270, part 1 and 2 from last weekend. Raw, SmackDown, and Off the Script extra on CM Punk and JD's Elite. Bonfire.com link is down in the description below, man. Thank you guys so very much. Again, hit that thumbs up, and I will see you right back here for more content. I'll probably be back with Off the Script on Friday, 271. We got a ton of Bray Wyatt news, so I'll see you guys then. Until then, have a great Thursday. Take care. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you right back here on Friday morning for Off the Script. I'll see you later.